What's up, everybody? On this episode of the Best of Bias podcast, you got me. I'm back. I'm back. I know it's been a little bit. We've been off for the last 2 weeks, last week or so. I didn't have a pod last week, and then I had the review a couple weeks ago with Damo. And then the last couple weeks before that, we didn't have a pod. But we're coming back. Season 3 is among us. This is something I have to talk about during this podcast episode. We back, episode 216. We got loads to talk about. The Olympics just passed, vacation coming up. NFL is starting, pop culture. Drake is back. A couple of seasons just ended. House of Dragons season 2 just ended. Umbrella Academy season 4 just ended. A lot of stuff to talk about. D23 announcements, all kind of stuff. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna talk to you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Going on another vacation, was on another vacation. This summer has been kind of wild for the Best of Bias podcast. You've been with us, ups and downs. I know. Again, I told you guys I don't leave you guys without a little something to step to, but last week I think I did. So I apologize. We back this week, and it's just me, no guests. I know the last two pods we did have guests. You know what I'm saying? So I like to bring you guys up to date and keep you guys fresh with the new ears, new ideas, new bias every week. So as you can see back there, go check that episode out, episode 215 out now, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. We did some good reviewing, Deadpool, Wolverine, all kinds of stuff. You see the vinyl back there. A lot of stuff revealed for MCU. A lot of stuff that revealed for the future of MCU and stuff like that. So we loved it. We talked about it anyways. Without further ado, let's get into the new episode of the Best of Bias podcast. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I missed y'all, and I hope y'all missed us. You know what I'm saying? New listeners, welcome. Old listeners, and what I like to call family members, welcome back. Let's get some bias started, shall we? Where that theme song at? It's right here, episode 216. Let's get it. It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias. What's up again? What's up, everybody? It's episode 216. Best of Bias is back in the house. I know you probably missed us over the last couple of weeks. The last month or so has been kind of tricky. It's been kind of tricky, you know what I'm saying? We're enjoying the sunshine, getting our vacation in before we really get down to the nitty gritty, because you know what happens when that September, October, November, all that starts. We got the sports equinox. We got football coming back, basketball returns, baseball playoffs starts. So there's a lot of shit that happens. We're not going to have a lot of time off. So, you know what I'm saying? Forgive me. I know you guys are always looking for the new Best of Bias podcast, because we always got the freshest perspective, the freshest news, the quickest news. We always keep y'all updated, and we always stay on the forefront of the pop culture news, because we got to bring it to the family members. And that's what y'all subscribe to the Best of Bias podcast for. We're trying to get your bias to you as fast as possible, and I'm glad to do it. I am Lydell Dinero, if you don't know who I am, and you're in the Best of Bias podcast. Welcome to the lounge. You know what I'm saying? To the lounge day bias. You know what I'm saying? Where we bring all our bias to the table. You never know what you're going to be talking about throughout the span of pop culture. You know what I'm saying? Sports, comic books, superheroes, history, politics. Very, very little. Sorry, if you're looking for a political podcast, this isn't the one. But I'm gonna keep you guys up to date, because I know I got to keep my people up to date in the streets. I never have y'all walking out here blind, but not much politics, but everything else, man. If they're talking about it in the streets, they're talking about it out there, we're probably gonna bring it to the podcast and touch on it so you can know about it too, with a little biased spin on it. So you know what I'm saying? We're not always the most accurate. We're not always politically correct, but we're just trying to bring our bias to the table and just get different perspectives and bring love. You know, we support love and togetherness out here. So it's just all we trying to do every podcast. But welcome to episode 216, man. I always like to say you could have been in any podcast, listening to any podcast in the world, but you chose to be right here with your boy Lydell Dinero, and I appreciate that every single time. Every click matters, every view matters. So you know what I'm saying? When I see you looking at me, looking at you, looking at me right now, I really do say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because your click, your like, your listen is what keeps me going for real. Because I could have had 3 weeks, 4 weeks off, not came back here. A lot of podcasts do fail that way, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes just being one man show. I wouldn't say one man, because we got a lot of help. growing to where we have grown since 2019. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Hugo Twilight. Shout out Dank Reynolds. Shout out AKA for sure, first and foremost, always holding us down, helping us out. But throughout the stages since 2019 to now, there's been a lot of groundwork made, and I'm happy that we are able to get to where we are now. And yeah, man, let's get right into it. I know a lot of stuff has happened since the last time we have spoke. Oh yeah, before I get into any of that, we are currently in season 2 of the Best of Bias podcast. Again, we're 215 episodes strong. We're almost, I think, about episode 58 or 59 of this season, and I think that's too many. I don't want to have to get, each season to be too many episodes. So another reason we've been missing weeks here and there is we're going to come back with season 3. We always like to elevate and bring something new for each season of the Best of Bias podcast. We never like to stay stagnant. Excuse me, I'll grab my water here. We like to always be ready to add new things, be progressive, be water, if you will, as I drink my water. Keep up with the times, keep bringing you guys content. We never want to be, behind in the flow. So we're me and AKA Damo. We're always thinking about new stuff to bring to you guys in season 3. We have loads more stuff to come. Of course, we're going to bring back more of the tournaments. I know we fell off a little bit on the tournaments. As we get more people to be on the pod and participate in the tournaments, you'll see a lot of tournaments, I promise. I know I promised you guys Cooking with Chelsea. We're going to get that popping. Me and Damo are on the collectibles and Marvel tips. So we get a lot more exclusive pods when it's not just me kind of going over a lot of stuff myself, like the usual rundown. I'm a more so kind of get people in their specific segments and kind of break stuff down with them more specific manner. Just so we pay more time, give more time to certain topics that may need more time, and stuff that we kind of brush through sometimes because we can talk forever on one topic and just get carried away and have you guys here for a 3-hour podcast when we want to specify on something and talk about something most of the time. That's what you know what it is. But season 3 is coming. Hope you guys are ready for that. And again, sorry for the delays. I've been flying a lot, traveling a lot. Speaking of traveling, this week I will be on a Carnival cruise. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my cruisers out there. Me and V-Rons, that's my travel partner. That's we always go on places together. But Carnival Cruise, we're going out there to travel, see Mexico. So we're gonna be out there. So I'm giving this to you guys a little early this week. On a Wednesday, I believe I'm gonna be dropping this. So you guys listen to this on a Wednesday. So forgive me if I miss anything towards the end of the week. I'm in the weekend, drop Friday through Sunday kind of area, depending on how my recording schedule is. But this week we're kind of bringing it to you early. I'm trying to get you caught up on some of the stuff from last week. We got to not really a long podcast for you, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about, starting with the Olympics. You know what I mean? But just be on the lookout for season 3 when it comes out. We'll let you know more about it. We'll have like some kind of celebration because we're getting closer and closer to our 300th episode. But yeah, Olympics passed this past week. Everybody was really excited. I was really excited too because a lot of the times, in this part of the year, a lot of our sports are gone. A lot of our sports casters are on vacation. So we're looking for that next thing to get us through until actual football season, basketball season comes back because October, again, November, December, the holiday season, all those months are really, really hectic for us. So summertime, we're kind of chilling after the finals is over. It's kind of like, all right, we have baseball and WNBA, but nothing really else to like get us going. And this year, Olympics kind of took the place of that. I mean, every 2 years we do have some kind of Olympics. Either it's going to be Winter or Summer Olympics, but when the Olympic Games are on, I kind of forget, every year as I get older, I pay a little bit closer attention to what the Olympic Games really are. You know what I'm saying? Before I didn't really care much about it because they're always really obscure kind of sports that didn't really draw my interest, that aren't really things that I watch from my day to day. So I didn't really give it that much attention. Yeah, us as the U.S., we're competing. USA, we're competing in these games against other countries, but I always thought that USA was so dominant, always that we would just win all the medals anyway. It's just kind of like a show-offy kind of thing. Why watch when we're gonna win anyways? Type of thing. That's when I was young, man, because I didn't really understand. But this year, I kind of paid a lot more close attention to the games and the opening ceremonies and the thoughtfulness and how people around the country and other areas of the state and of the world thought of the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? I never really paid much a close attention to the patriotism of it, how just regular people that may not even like sports, just like the whole aspect of our country competing against other people and athletes that don't really get put on a pedestal as much as they should for being top-notch athletes, getting recognized, especially people of different descents that are from this country or live in this country now get to see their country represented on a bigger stage and see athletes of their descent compete and try to win medals and just receive the highest honor in the world. You know what I'm saying? As far as athletics go. And we saw athletics from all over the world. We saw air pistols, we saw water polo, synchronized swimming, diving, gymnastics, of course, basketball, of course, tennis, of course, golf, of course. But it just kind of put into perspective how epic it was because like all these sports we actually do watch, no matter what sport it is, like the athletes from their countries compete in their game against other athletes from other countries. So that is pretty epic. You know what I mean? We watch golf. You know what I'm saying? Every week there's a golf tournament, a PGA tour, a live tour. But you see how these countries always, like these players always represent their country. They say where the players are from, you know, what ethnicity they're from. In the Olympics, they're actually playing for their country, and it's like another PGA tournament. But if you win for your country. You know what I'm saying? And it was really interesting seeing the different money, the monetary value each country gave to their athletes as they won medals. You know what I mean? USA, I think they only really gave $37,000 to their gold medalists. You know what I'm saying? Because it's interesting to me. I always thought being an Olympic athlete wasn't really as prominent as being an American athlete that get paid millions and millions of dollars to play the sport. Because you go to athletics, you're usually, I mean, athletics, the Olympics, you're just kind of out there you're the best in your class in the sport that you do, and you're probably being sponsored along the way as you win other tournaments leading up to Olympics and qualifying for the Olympics. But you don't really get paid the big bucks like somebody in the NBA or somebody that's in the MLB or somebody that's in the NFL. You know what I mean? So a lot of attention wasn't put to it, and I still kind of feel like they are really underpaid because these people work lifetimes and years because every 4 years you can't compete every year in the Olympics. So to get this honor and make it there to even place in this, it should be held way higher, way more heralded than it actually is. I kind of feel like like Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson were adding like 100,000, 50,000 to each player's purse on top of what they were given as their country to go out there and play. Because I mean, like again, they trained for their whole lives basically to be in at least only 2 Olympics. You know what I'm saying? And for them to get pennies on the dollar to win, if they win, and just sacrifice so much to place gold, silver, or bronze, and you don't get barely any money for it. It's crazy. And I feel like as US citizens, as USA, we should pay Olympic athletes if they medal, just like we pay athletes for sports, one of our major sports here. You know what I mean? If you place like 500,000, $1 million. I know there's a lot of sports, and I'll get to the medal count in a little bit, but our tax money is going somewhere, and all you give basketball players that are in the NBA hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Like you can't give these athletes in the Olympics a little more than 30,000, and you don't have to give them money for just participating. Give them money. It's just medaling. Yeah, let me get off that pedestal. I can talk about that forever. But the final medal count for the whole Olympics, I'm going to talk about the top two, which were China and the USA. USA 40 golds, 44 silvers, 42 bronze medals, and 106 total medals, 126 total medals. China had 40 golds, 27 silvers, 24 bronze, and 91 total medals. But the golds, man, China was on us, man. China's out there. They got that discipline. You know, they weren't really on us as far as the total medal count. Of course, we were like, I'm not going to do math right now because I even remember the numbers I said. 126, 9, boom, 27. Yeah, 30, like about 30 something more medals for the US. They're, focus on that gold, and they for them to match us in gold was pretty impressive. Some of the major events that I followed the most that I was really interested in, of course, was firstly the basketball. Just with a lot of players spread out amongst all the teams, being in the NBA, Jokic being on Serbia, Bogdanovic being on Serbia, my boy Jamal Murray, of course, being on Canada, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dylan Brooks, Luguentz Dort, Who else was in their starting lineup that was really good? There was one more besides. Oh yeah, RJ Barrett. You know what I'm saying? They have a bunch of players in other countries, South Sudan, Germany with the Wagner brothers, Dennis Schroeder. Of course, France with Wembanyama, Gobert. Um, People showing Fournier, and people just showing out that they get their first chance to show out on a big stage against NBA players. Like our team was really good. If you watch the Olympics, you know what our team consisted of: LeBron James, Steph Curry, KD, Ant, Devin Booker, Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis. Like we had an all-star team: Halliburton, Tatum. Like Halliburton and Tatum barely even got to play the whole tournament just because our team was so stacked. But just the fact that players were able to go out there and give it their all, have the chance and the opportunity to give buckets to NBA players and actually potentially earn themselves NBA contracts when doing so and representing their country on a national stage was pretty epic. But seeing USA be able to win the whole thing, they won the final 98-87 against France. Steph Curry in the last two games in the semifinal, USA played Serbia. I knew when the bracket came out and Serbia played who they played first, Australia, and I know that with USA. I don't know who the USA was playing. They may have been played Puerto Rico for their first round, but I knew after those matchups were over, USA was going to beat Serbia. Though in their game, Serbia had a crazy lead on the USA and caused them fits. It took a 36-point barrage from Steph Curry and a triple-double from LeBron James to get them past Jokic, but you know what I'm saying? It just proves to show how Jokic really is. I'm not even going to spend this time talking about Jokic, but he did get most points, rebounds, assists, and everything and steals, I think, or some crazy overall in the Olympics. But him and Serbia weren't able to beat that Avengers team in the USA. They won 98-87. Oh, excuse me. They won. I forgot what the score was for the Serbia USA game. And Germany beat France in a crazy game too for the men's final or semifinal to make it to the gold medal game where I was golfing. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I was out there on the golf course during the USA men's game, but I kind of knew that USA was gonna win just because the build of the team was just built to beat France. Though Wembanyama is hella big, but you have Joel Embiid who can just kind of box out and just keep Wembanyama out of position. Anthony Davis, who can also do that. Bam Adebayo, who can play power forward, shoot the mid range. I know they had Yabusele and a couple of other guys that actually really in Cornier, a lot of guys on the France team that made a name for themselves in this tournament. The USA was always team was always going to be too much. I mean, you can see that by how they never even gave Tatum a chance to play, how they didn't even give Halliburton a chance to play. These guys are superstars in our league, but didn't even get to touch the court in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? So it was going to be a tough task for anybody to beat the USA, but it was really fun to see Steph, LeBron, and KD play in what could be their last Olympics, which probably is their last Olympics, being the point of their career that they actually are in. And just looking at what if these players actually, we saw KD and Steph play together already, but LeBron being able to play with Steph Curry, coming off of pick and rolls, is balling out. It's been a blessing to see the last couple of weeks. I didn't really get to see the Dream Team live. We saw the FIBA team last year, who was just kind of too young and unexperienced, didn't really have the leadership of LeBron and the elder people there to help them kind of get over the hump. But I do remember the D Wade and the Melo teams of our, with Kobe and stuff like that of our past that were actually able to go out there and just kind of outclass the opponents and just kind of be that NBA team that would kind of just, even though there's international players, the Kobe running over Pau Gasol, there's international players that are in the NBA at that time. And there's more now. I just like the camaraderie. Players that were just amazing players getting to play together for the last time, or, I don't know, just seeing LeBron being able to still be dominant at his age in the Olympics, still being able to outmuscle and get any bucket he wanted, to carry the team through the what do they call those games? The showcase games, the early games against the teams, and just keep NBA. I mean the men's team undefeated and just don't take any embarrassing losses to anybody. Showed their dominance. It was crazy, and that goes the same for the women's team. They won 7 straight gold medals. I think this one may have been 8. If I'm not mistaken. Haven't lost a game on a crazy streak this year. The team was led by Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart. Yeah, it was really crazy. I didn't really understand or really know. Again, this is kind of my first couple of years being really into WNBA basketball, or following, excuse me, not being into it because wow, you saw that. I'm really into sports all in general. I don't care what sex it is, you know. But just being able to see the teams this year, and just seeing Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, seeing of course Sabrina Ionescu being an orchestrator. Um, who else was out there? I forgot what's her name from the Aces. I know Kelsey Plum is out there, but I was talking about I forgot about that. Chelsea Gray, be out there running point, just seeing the skill. And I know other teams as well gave them fits as well. That wasn't smooth all the way through, but seeing the dominance of the WNBA players after them coming off of actually already playing basketball mid-season, and they have to go back to playing basketball after they're done with the Olympics is crazy. They're still out there balling. Alyssa Thomas, Brianna Griner, oh, excuse me, that's Brianna Griner. Brittany Griner. Who else was on the women's team? Kalea Cooper was on the team. Nefesta Collier, shout out you. Who else do we have out there? Who else do we have out there? I don't know, but to all the ladies, congratulations. They won 60, oh no, it was closer than that. I think it was 67-66 against France in dramatic fashion. The France, I forgot the girl's name, but France hit a last second shot. They were down 3, and the girls actually no, yeah, they're down 3, but the girl's foot on the line. When she made the shot, she made the last second shot at the buzzer, but her foot was on the line. Only got 2 points, and France lost at the last second. So they made a buzzer beater and almost came back and beat the American team. They were actually able to win. And shouts out to our basketball teams, man. Shouts out to, of course, the gymnastics team. I think we shouted out them in the last episode, but shout out Gabby Douglas. Shout out Simone Biles. Shout out Suni Lee. I forgot all the other girls' names, but shout out to the whole gymnastics teams. I'm sorry if I didn't mention your name. Noah Lyles won the 100-meter. Oh wait, gold in the 100-meter, bronze in the 200-meter. Noah Lyles was kind of interesting. He was an interesting guy, man. Everybody kind of was not really feeling him due to the comments he made about the NBA players when they said that they won the world championship when they win in the NBA. He made fun of them saying that they didn't win the world championship because first of all, they lost in FIBA. I don't think he was referring to that though, but I think the fact that they're not playing against the world when they're playing the NBA championship, they're saying that the NBA players didn't win a world championship. They just won a championship in the United States type shit. And since he's running in the Olympics and Olympic trials and stuff like that and winning out there, he's actually the fastest in the world type shit. Kind of sticking his chest out. So everybody was kind of looking at him to show his shit and kind of hold face against all his statements. He's talking shit about the NBA players. They're all out there together. So he wins the 100-meter, and he can talk his shit for a while, but he did lose the bronze. He did get the bronze. I always say lose because it's not gold. You know, if you're not first or last type shit. Ricky Bobby instilled that in me. I don't know why it's stuck in me like that. Pause. But he did lose the 200-meter. Everybody was saying I wasn't really the super most familiar with Noah Lyles until about the last couple of years, but they were saying that his event was the 200-meter, but he got bronze in that. But they were saying he got bronze in that due to having COVID, and he did it with the 102 fever, which is kind of crazy though, because one, were they not COVID tested before races? Maybe the guidelines are a little lighter now. But if he did have COVID after running the race, he was hugging and he was exposing so many different people. If he had COVID knowingly, why was he able to race? You know what I'm saying? They should have just took him out of the race and said he had COVID. because him running the race so close to people and hugging them after congratulating him probably exposed all those people to COVID. It's just kind of weird for him to use that as an excuse. Not saying it's an excuse, because I could never go out there and run no 100 and 200 meter in place, anything like that. But to have COVID and go out there and do it, and just for that to seem like a kind of like a coping mechanism, not really a coping mechanism, but just like a defense mechanism for him, knowing that people are going to probably come for him for talking shit about the NBA players and him getting bronze. But shout out to Noah Lyles, man. Be yourself, dude. Talk your shit still. Don't let nobody get you down, and get better first and foremost. So congratulations on your medals, brother. Sha'Carri Richardson, silver in the 100 meter. Highly anticipated final for her in the 100 meter, but supposedly there's some fishiness going on. I guess people that weren't staying on the Olympic Village campus, they had to take a whole different entrance than the people that are actually staying on campus. So Sha'Carri Richardson and I think a couple of the Jamaican sprinters actually had to walk all the way around to a different entrance. And they were saying that the entrance, or to get around to that special entrance, it took an hour to get there. Therefore, when Sha'Carri got to the race to get ready to warm up, she wasn't able to warm up because she had to walk an hour all the way around just to get into the race. So after that, even though she didn't even get a race, I think one of the Jamaican sprinters was like, "No, I'm not even going to compete. If I can't warm up and just perform to my optimal ability, I'm not even going to race." But Sha'Carri was able to do it. And still was gonna, race. She worked so hard. All that spiel about her last year and smoking and getting, or the last time and getting, kicked off the running or being able to be in the Olympics in Tokyo. She still did it and was able to get silver. The girl from St. Lucia, she beat her in the semifinal too. But when it came down to the final, yeah, she did her thing again. But yeah, she was able to get silver there. But when it came to that 4x4 relay, 400 relay, oh my gosh, she was the last leg in that. She did her thing, won gold. It was pretty close until Sha'Carri got the baton. When she got the baton, she got out there and just sprinted, took off and did what she do, looking back at her competition, looking right at the camera in the rain, and took gold. And it was a really good redemption story there, because I know she was really, probably, I don't know if personally, but I know how you could be down on yourself for not getting gold in the 100 meter when that is your event and everybody kind of expected you to. But getting 2 medals for the USA, I'm still proud of her, and I'm glad I got to experience that and see her. If this is the only Olympics she does, if she does another Olympics, I'll be gladly watch. Because she's a really entertaining runner, sprinter, and yeah, she's the best at her sport, and I can't wait to see her do it again. Don't hold your head. Hold your head. I know that 100 meter gold is coming to you. And if it's not, I still consider you one of the fastest people I've ever seen. It's been enjoy watching you run. I'm not calling it for the end of your career, but I'm just saying whatever you choose to do, you know what I'm saying? Because the next Olympics, it's not for another 4 years. So I know you're gonna be there if you want to be there. I know you're gonna win it if you want to win it. So next time in LA, they ain't gonna give you those regulations. They're gonna let you in the front. They're gonna let out the red carpet for you with some roses on there, excuse me, not princess, queen. You feel me? Also, I'm gonna shout out Cole Hooker, 1500 meter gold. Shout out that Oregon Ducks. You feel me? He came from behind. It was a crazy race. He was like in fourth or fifth place, kind of hawked down the first place runner, and crossed the finish line at the end. Another gold for the United States. Shout out him. I wanted to give him recognition also because, of course, he ran for the Ducks, and of course the hurdler. I don't know your name right now, but I was reading about you, and you are crazy talented in the trials. I feel like she set a bunch of records for hurdles. I don't know how long the hurdles were, but the hurdles, and every time she did a trial in the Olympics, the times got better and better and better, and she broke world records and records and records. So, and she won gold again for the U.S. this year. So shouts out her too. So I couldn't get out the Olympic segment without shouting everybody out. So shout out the USA for doing such a good job. Can't wait to see the Olympics in LA. If you guys are trying to go, holla at me. We going as a team, Best of Bias. We're gonna be in that thing. I got some homies out there, so we're planning some stuff. So let's get to the Olympics, y'all. Shout out to USA, and let's keep winning. And this election too. Let's win as a country and come together more. I'm not gonna get political, but man, we just need togetherness, man. I'm tired of fighting with the people in our own country. Every country I look at got so much togetherness and everybody love each other, but once it comes down to our country, we're so divided. I just want to get along. No, I'm just playing. I do want to get along though. Hold on real quick. Gotta set something up for dual cameras in a little bit. You feel me? Ain't gonna dual cameras y'all right now, but it's gonna be a little bit. Well, we got next. Preseason games, NFL. Um, we got the NFL coming. Preseason started last week. We got our first preseason games, and if I'm not mistaken, there's only 3 left. We get to see a big glimpse of our rookie quarterbacks that got drafted this year: Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, Caleb Williams, to name a few. Bo Nix getting off for the Broncos, getting a chance to be the starter under Sean Payton. Seeing him do what he did for the Ducks every week, I knew he was going to produce. Just having weapons and being an NFL system, he was going to be ready. He played 5 years in college, so him being with Sean Payton and in a system that was already kind of set and built for him, I knew he was going to be successful. Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams. If we can get my guy. Why do I always forget it? Troy Franklin, number 16. I don't know why you picked number 16, brother, but if we can get you involved and get you ready, get you in there with all the other receivers they got there. Really familiar with Bo Nix. Y'all can make some noise. I mean, your division's going to be pretty tough, but Bo Nix is going to win you some games, so I'm happy to see him. Caleb Williams, we've been seeing him on Hard Knocks, and we've been seeing him every second of every year for the last 3 years. Seeing him in the first preseason game, he's out there with Chicago. With a nice set of receivers, but none of the receivers really played in the first game. But seeing Caleb Williams, it's actually their second game because they played in the Hall of Fame game. But seeing Caleb Williams out there making plays like he did at USC was pretty cool. It's going to be interesting to see all these young guys and where they go in fantasy. Fantasy football starting real soon. I'll talk about the Best of Bias invitation of 2024 really soon. The boys, you guys got your invites. Y'all better get ready. JJ McCarthy, sadly, suffered a torn meniscus in practice today. So he will have some time before he's actually going to be out there playing, though he may not be the starter anyways. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Sam Darnold in the Vikings camp. But shouts out him. The Buccaneers played really well in their first game. Kyle Trask out there putting up numbers. He's battling Walford for the backup quarterback spot behind Baker Mayfield. Mostly though, Connor Barth. Is that his name? Is that who we draft? Why am I not drawing a blank on our center's name? But anyway, the center from Duke that we drafted did well in his couple plays in there, was opening up holes for our running backs, Bucky Irving. Of course, you guys heard me talk about Bucky Irving a lot last year, being a running back for Oregon. Getting off, doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? He scored a touchdown. 3 of our running backs. Sean Tucker was out there going dumb. Last year, we wanted to see a lot of Sean Tucker. We thought he was going to be able to back up Rashad White. But I guess I don't know if he got hurt or he just kind of like fell off the depth chart, and it was just Chase Edmonds when Chase Edmonds was healthy. But having Bucky now and him actually scoring a touchdown and him being able to do what he was doing at Oregon behind the NFL line and people seeing what he's doing out there, and it's just showing the versatility of him. They didn't even throw him no passes, and I feel like we showed so little, and everything was so vanilla that once he does start getting out there and doing trick plays with our offensive coordinator, him and Rashad White, watch. I think they may lead the league for broken tackles and missed tackles as a running back duo. You know what I'm saying? I'll put that on. Watch when that happens. But yeah. Anyways, but fantasy though, that's starting real soon. Best of Bias Fantasy League. I do want you guys to know, I'm the owner of this right now. Sorry, audio listeners, but this bad boy right here, you hear that? That's real metal right here. That's that real carrots right here. You want to be fantasy football champions this year, you got to beat the champ. You know who won last year. You know who does this fantasy football thing. Best of Bias Invitational this year. If you want to win the belt, you want to be the fantasy football champ like your boy. Tune in, man. Each week I'll be talking about it. So y'all follow. If y'all into football, I'll be doing regular football each week like I do every week for the past couple of years. And I'll also be doing fantasy each week to go over our scores and results. And I'm trying to get the fantasy boys on, yada, yada, yada. If you talk fantasy football, you know fantasy football, you're interested in football, period. It's upside down right now. Hey. Fantasy football champions, man. Come get it. If you want it, take it from me. You feel me? If not, get out of the way. I'm trying to win some more money. What else we got? Pop culture. quick little pop culture, actually. Couple of things here. Just Drake back with 100 gigabytes of music. It's interesting, man. The three songs that he put out were cool. Interesting vibes. We've been seeing a slow rollout of Drake since the whole Kendrick and Drake beef. We saw the stuff with Gordo, aka Carnage, the couple of house music songs we heard. Snippets of this. Actually, we heard the leak of Super Soak by Little Yachty and Drake sampling Mr. Hotspot, in which he said they couldn't release it because they didn't want to put out a clean version, and he is kind of like Christian and found God and didn't really want any cussing on the track that he created, which is understandable just for the fact that he created the song and basically they're just rapping over the song that he created. I mean, if you change the beat at least and just use the sample of my hook, it would be okay. But if you guys just gonna use my whole song and disregard everything I'm saying in regards to not playing it or not putting any curse words on it, it's kind of crazy. But also he just dropped this again, the 100 gigabytes of music, which I thought was just gonna be a whole bunch of music that he just kind of put out and just dropped, maybe Lucy's stuff from unfinished projects or stuff like that. But he dropped three songs. One was called It's Up, I believe, and that's with featuring Young Thug and 21 Savage, and it was cool. I mean, it gave like the her loss and nothing was not. If you're reading this as too late vibes, just kind of the same kind of shit. Seeming like he was kind of poking the bear again with the Kendrick Lamar thing, but not really. It was just a cool little song, cool little ditty bop. Always good to hear Young Thug. Him and 21 Savage kind of always together trying to do the little vibe thing, just kind of, I guess, to remind people that they're still on good terms. If everybody else isn't on good terms with Drake, him and 21 Savage still are. Then he had that Caribbean vibe, I think it's called Red Black Green, something like that. The whole Caribbean vibe, that was good. And then he had the song with Lotto, which was pretty good too, which I personally thought was better than the song that he put out with Sexy Red. Been that ass over. Like that song was really catchy. But I think the song that he put out with Lotto this most recently on that 100 gigabytes of music, I think that has a chance to be a little hotter than that, a little better for the club. For me personally, I like the songs. I know there's a lot of hatred out there for Drake, and anybody that listens to Drake's music, they must have picked a side and like Drake. If you like Kendrick Lamar stuff, you're not allowed to listen to Drake stuff. Y'all niggas is crazy. I'm listening to both. If it's slap, I'm putting it in the repertoire. You know what I'm saying? I just respect good music. I know it was a battle. I know it was beef back then. But man, stop letting them program you into thinking you can't listen to Drake just because he was beefing with Kendrick Lamar, bro. Because if you do, you're gonna miss out on a lot of good music and a lot of good vibes. And though you may not like Drake, the ladies do. And if you ain't trying to vibe with the ladies just because Drake is on, that means something's wrong with you. I mean, unless you don't like ladies, that's perfectly fine. But if you like guys too, and the girls, if you're a girl, guys, if you're guys, I'm sure they go listen to Drake as well, the person you're attracted to. So to find somebody that's not going to be into the Drake Caribbean vibes, into the Drake singing vibes, or the people that are not going to be into the Kendrick Lamar ballads or the Kendrick Lamar introspective stuff, it's gonna be tough, man. You're gonna have to vibe together eventually, man. You're gonna have to just cross that picket line and just say it's over. But back to the 100 gigabytes of music, but it had a bunch of different stuff as well. It had videos of him creating music, kind of like behind the scenes of how music became what it was, music videos, live practices of stuff. It kind of gave you an introspective view of Drake's life because you see and hear a lot of the music, see a lot of the videos that he puts out. You kind of wonder about the creative process. How did he do that? Who do you have in the studio to help him? How did they come up with that vibe? How did they come up with that hook? This gives you that view. And especially for people that really don't know how it works. I'm not saying that I know exactly how stuff works, but I dabbled in music and the creation of music. And for him to be doing it at such a high level and for people to have the opportunity to see that and get to view his work ethic, get to see how stuff is done, how masterpieces are made, I think that's beneficial for everybody. So I do appreciate him putting that out. I don't know how it's going to be received again from the people that are all, oh yeah, he's just kind of doing this because Kendrick put him in a rabbit hole and he's trying to find a way to come out of that hole with this, and that. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that deep, man. I think sometimes entertainment, they do their jobs. They kept you entertained through this beef. They both made a lot of money throughout the beef, and I think now it's just going to be time for Drake to come out with the slaps again and Kendrick Lamar to just chill out for a little bit like he usually does. Unless he's getting ready to drop that album, then it's going to just kind of be up from there still. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just want both of them to keep putting out music because them putting out music at the pace they did back when it was a beef time, I think music was in a better place. So, what do you think will happen if they just kind of ignored each other and continue to put out their own versions of music, and then everybody puts out their own versions of music? Uh, I don't know. I just wanted to stay cool. I don't think it'd be good for Drake to try to reignite the beef. I saw him dropping Twitter shit and talking shit about J. Cole now, saying something like, remember when J. Cole lost his phone, a fan found it and called Jay-Z. Jay-Z didn't pick it up, but when they called from their actual phone with Jay-Z's number, they picked up type shit. Like just petty shit that uh I don't know, man. Sometimes you want to just say like, okay, Drake, like maybe people are kind of just being too hard on you and people are just kind of like just picking on you. It's like, damn, well, Drake is on top of the game and he is petty. So if he wants to fire at somebody, he gonna fire at him regardless of what people may think or the repercussions because he is that guy. So I don't know. It's just interesting, but go check out that 100 gigabytes of music. It's very interesting. I don't know if he took it down from online, but the songs that he put out on them are on DSPs. I don't know if he has those behind the scenes video stuff still up there. But if they are still up there, go check it out. Go check it out. Go check it out. Yeah. Do I do dual cameras for this? I can try. Should I do it right quick? Let me see. Um, hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm just gonna try to set this up. Actually, no. Let me just see. I'm just gonna bank on our AKA holding me down. Hey, you guys hear about that D23 announcements they had out there in Anaheim? You feel me? Did y'all hear about that? Y'all know how we talked about Hall H in the Comic Con and all that shit in the last episode with Damo. They said hold my beer with D23. You know what I'm saying? Because Marvel had their own little section at Hall H, their own little section at Comic Con to make their announcements. But D23 is all Disney. Marvel is a big part of Disney now. They couldn't reveal everything they were gonna do at Hall H, at Comic Con. They had to save some of that. You know what I'm saying? They had to have some of the kablam for D23. D23 basically stands for, I don't know what the 23 is for. I don't know why it's 23 every year. But it's like a Disney convention where all the Disney executives and all the different branches of Disney go out there to make all their announcements regarding theme parks, TV shows, movies, fuck, yada, yada, yada. Anything Disney, they're going out there to announce it. I think it was out there in Anaheim this last week. And I just want to give you guys some of the highlights. And I don't think you're ready for them, man, because it's crazy. I don't know who our Disney heads are out there, but if you're a Disney head, like I'm a Disney head, I'm a Disney adult. You feel me? I'm 33 years old. I don't care about telling my age, but I'm 33 years old. And you're going to find me at Disneyland when any of this stuff opens. You're going to find me right there first in line in theaters to catch a Pixar movie. You'll catch me right there first in line to see a Marvel movie. You'll catch me right there first in line to see an Avatar movie. These Star Wars, any of this shit. No, hey, you see what's around me right now. You see the stew. So no shame at all in my game at all. So let's just talk about some of the announcements. Let's start with the movie announcements. Like we thought we heard everything back. We heard rumors. We thought we heard everything back at Comic-Con, and we did hear about some hackers that were going to threaten to announce everything. So maybe that's why they announced so much stuff so fast. But I just feel like I was overloaded with information. Now, I definitely don't have all the information here, but I just took the major highlights that I thought were pretty cool, and I'll share those with y'all real quick. So we got trailers for Moana 2, which I know a lot of y'all are really excited about. Me personally, I'm not the biggest Moana guy. Movie wise, I mean, I could watch it. Just movie wise, I know there's probably a really good message in it. Representation of the Pacific Islanders and the Pacific Asian, uh, ethnicity was incredible. I love The Rock. You already know how I feel about that. And the representation that they're bringing in and ingratiating in Disney is incredible. But I know a lot of y'all love Moana. The second trailer popped out. Incredible stuff. Got people really excited. I'm excited for Moana 2. I might check out Moana 1 just so I can go watch Moana 2 when it drops. Because you know what I'm saying? I gotta review these movies for y'all. And I feel like I would do y'all injustice if I didn't go see that. Because I know Dama's gonna go see those movies too. So we might make that one of our little segments here. Just so we can catch it off for y'all. Also, we saw live action Snow White. I'm sorry I did not get the names of the specific actors and actresses for y'all, but we saw that. We saw the actual live action juxtaposed to the classic Disney illustrated animated Snow White. I'm excited to see that. That's gonna be epic. The princesses, so keep it alive and well for the young ladies out there and the young men. I'm saying they might like with princesses too. I won't exclude y'all, but the princess life is live and well for sure at Disneyland. They're actually, I don't know if this is actually in Disneyland or maybe in Orlando at the Florida theme park. Some of these expansions, when I talk about the rides and stuff, I don't know exactly. I'm going to talk mostly about the Anaheim ones, but I know they're putting a whole bunch of new shit in the Orlando main campus out there in Disney because that's where they try to put all the big shit in Florida. But also, we saw Mufasa, a trailer for that as well, live action. We've been seeing a lot about that coming out, but to see another trailer for that was good. We saw the trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu. They also announced a ride for Mandalorian and Grogu at the Anaheim campus. Toy Story 5 was announced. It was in the topic for Toy Story 5 is going to be toys versus electronics. They're going to be fighting for kids' attention. So how they go about that's going to be very, very interesting. Incredibles 3, which is really dear to my heart. If you guys know me, you guys know how good or a big of an Incredibles fan I am. Incredibles 1, I can watch anytime, any time of the day. I may even watch it tonight. Incredibles 2, I need to give a little more love. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Incredibles 1, but Incredibles is like my favorite movie. So Incredibles 2 is really in high regard for me. Just bringing them back, having the same cast, just kind of just having representation of other superheroes outside of just the main cast of Incredibles characters. That was incredible. So no pun intended. But I'm interested to hear the plot of Incredibles 3. Maybe I do a little research because this is all coming out in 2026. So a couple of years we're gonna see. Actually, I don't know if Incredibles 3 is coming 2026. I think Toy Story 5 is though. Avatar 3, I think is coming out in 2026. Fire and Ash is the title for Avatar that was announced. I think for this one again, we kind of theorized, like as we were talking about the movies when they came out, each movie is going to be about a different tribe on is it Navi? Is that the planet in Avatar? There's so many shit that I watch, I don't really remember. But whatever planet they are in on Avatar, I think they're gonna keep exploring different tribes and different like socialities of the tribes, if that makes sense, if that's even a word. Wow, I just said that though. They also announced Tron Ares, another one of my favorite movies, Tron. I just peeped that Jeff Bridges was in all three. The first one, the remake, and he's about to be in this new one, Tron 3, or well, just Tron 2, I guess. It's called Tron Ares, which is gonna be really sick. I'm excited to see that. They made it a big deal that Nine Inch Nails will be doing the contract. I think because or the soundtrack, because I think the first one was highly regarded because it was done by Daft Punk. And that did have a theme throughout the movie. So having this one done by Nine Inch Nails, I think is going to be. I'm not really familiar with Nine Inch Nails, but I feel like they're a rock and roll band. So I think this one's going to have more of a rock kind of like grunge kind of tone. It looks like Ares is kind of going to be based off of like a evil, something evil. Because, Ares is the god of war. So I don't know what they're gonna be it's gonna be popping in the algorithm this time, but it should be interesting. Then they had a trailer for Star Wars Skeleton Crew, very interesting. I remember it giving me a certain vibe. I forgot I sent it to my group chat of what vibe it kind of gave me. Just a ragtag group, kind of sucked into adventure. Oh yeah, it gave me like a Star Wars Goonies kind of feel. You know what I mean? Just like two younger kids looking for Jedi, wanting to meet Jedi, and just get sent into an adventure they didn't expect, type of shit. Which is kind of different because I think anything away from like the Skywalker saga is kind of good for Star Wars, and it keeps it going, it keeps it bright, keeps it light, excuse me, and it kind of diversifies it for different, stages of fandom as far as kids, adults, and I don't know. Maybe they don't need to get too CW and kiddie with it, but this one looks kind of cool. TV shows for Marvel, Daredevil Born Again. We saw the trailer for that. They're saying it's going to be bloodier and more gory than the Netflix series, so I'm really excited to see that in adaptation. They say we're going to see Daredevil wear all kinds of suits from the comic books, Punisher's back, Kingpin's in it. We're going to see Echo, all the characters. We saw them appear at D23 as well. We saw people come out for Agatha as well. Agatha, I think, comes out September 18th, so that's really soon. Captain America, we actually got another look at the animated version of the Red Hulk, just to see Harrison Ford's version. People were making fun of it. The CGI was bad to a lot of people, so getting this second look, I don't know if people are just not really feeling it even more, but I've heard a lot more jokes coming out since the Brave New World trailer came out with another version of another view of the Red Hulk. So that's interesting. I think we got a plot and maybe even a sneak peek trailer for Thunderbolts as well. I don't remember exactly, but they also showed a trailer for Ironheart. So that's still coming out. I thought that was going to get canceled, but it's interesting to see that's still coming out. So hopefully we get to see after that Armor Wars, and hopefully Don Cheadle will still be able to do that as well. Theme park wise, they're adding Avengers ride. I think where they call it the Avengers Rescue event. I forgot exactly what it's called, Avengers Rescue or something like that, where you basically sucked through time sent through time realms and different dimensions, and probably going to be saving them through shit like in Endgame and shit like that. So that should be kind of cool. And then they have Stark Flight Simulator, where you're in Tony Stark's lab, and some of those mechanical arms are taking you, spinning you in the air. That looks like it's going to be really cool. And then they have an Avatar ride. I don't know if they're going to have actually Avatar Land created at Disneyland Anaheim, but I do know they're expanding. They're breaking down like a whole parking lot that they had like across the street from the theme park. They're expanding over there. So they could be creating more lands. I know they're putting these two rides on the Avengers campus, because I know Avengers campus is, a really big part of California Adventure. But I feel like they have way too many properties within Marvel to have it that small, so they can just keep building onto it. And then the expansion area that they put for Disneyland, they can add the Avatar Land, and I can just only imagine what the Avatar Land would look like. Just like a swooped up version of the Pirates of the Caribbean. You know what I mean? That'd be so epic. But yeah, that's it for D23. Plenty more announcements that I may have missed. You should probably just go check those out. Just look them up, just to name a few, man. I'm a big Disney guy, and I'm excited about every part, every announcement. Oh yeah, live action Stitch. I didn't mention that. I don't know how I breezed past that. Lilo and Stitch. They had a live action Stitch jump out on the screen just to show everybody what the actual live action Stitch would look like. I think they did a good job, man. It looks really accurate. I would like to see that juxtaposed next to the actual live action characters, because for some reason to me, I feel like CGI is kind of going backwards. It should be able to blend in really well with regular acting, but it just seems like it never really does. It just kind of still always feels off. Moving over in the cinema corner, though, Umbrella Academy, excuse me, season 4 just dropped. I went ahead and binged that right on for y'all. Only 6 episodes, and I am gonna tell you, it was not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I swear. Umbrella Academy is another one of those shows that kind of got thrown in the middle. Got caught in this weird gray area when Invincible came out, when The Boys came out. What else came out during that time? Something on Netflix that was kind of like up that realm, just a superhero time travel kind of stuff. It kind of got ran its course. And when Loki came out, we had these shows that were kind of superpower based and dealt a lot with time travel. Season 1 of Umbrella Academy was really cool to me because just the concept of it. It's like, oh, randomly 7 moms got pregnant without having sex or anything, just got randomly pregnant at the same time and gave birth to babies that had superpowers. And then this guy just comes up and buys the babies or takes them off the parents' hands and just raises them as a superhero team. It's just kind of a crazy concept. And then all the ones that didn't really get found or bought by this guy, this Professor X kind of guy, or ended up being kind of like villainous and kind of grew up in a weird way to where they all wanted to kind of like, harm or disturb the peace. And the Umbrella Academy were kind of put together to kind of go fight those people or fight people that were trying to like, just fight crime basically. So it was interesting seeing the characters develop and grow from season 1 to season 4. Me personally, I think they could have left it at season 2, just because after season 2, season 3, they got really deep into time travel and shit got really confusing. And it's already really hard to try to explain time travel shit to people, but every time you turn around and every movie deals with time travel and kind of explains it different, it just kind of goes over your head and you kind of just kind of get just thrown off. So after season 1 and the whole idea of this family getting thrown together, and then season 2, the family just going through shit, Vanya understanding that her powers were being held back just because she was like the most powerful and was super dangerous, so she was kept away from everybody. The two brother and sisters actually dating, but the whole the aspect of them not being really related, just being kind of adopted. So the forsakenness of them being able to see each other, the brother that died, and them being actually only having numbers as names. It just everything about the Umbrella Academy was interesting. Again, if you guys watched the show The Outlaws or The Misfits, excuse me, back in the day, I don't know if it was like a London-based show, but I think it may have been a Hulu back in the day. But Klaus, he was actually in Misfits, actually with the same powers. It was a group of like juvenile delinquents, is what they call them in London, and they're doing community service. And then all of a sudden, the storm hit that kind of randomly gave them superpowers, and everybody in their town around them superpowers, and then it's kind of like a bunch of shenanigans around their superpowers. This is kind of like the same thing. It's just really complex, really gory, kind of gives boys and Invincible as far as giving a different aspect of a superhero team's different morals of a superhero team. Um, Again, it's an interesting concept. If you watch season 1, season 2, you're like, hell yeah. But once you get to season 3, you're like, okay. And then you come back to this season 4, it puts you in a weird place because season 3 ended weird. We have the girl, I forgot the girl from Juno's name. She transitioned really transitioned in real life to Elliot Page. And he likes to go by Elliot Page now, so they had her transition in the show to being Elliot Page, and just seeing her transitioning and her voice changing and everything, it just kind of made me forget. It kind of threw it off for the character for me. The emotion of the character is completely different. Um, I don't know if his acting just changed as well when the transition happened, but it kind of took me out of the character. Five's character was really cool in the first couple of seasons when their powers were working, and in this season their powers don't work right away. Um, and we get to see these characters as regular people. I don't think of them as regular people. They're not really that interesting, and it took a couple of episodes for them to get their powers back. When they get their powers back, they don't really do much with them this season. Last season, we saw them actually doing stuff, fighting each other, fighting baddies. You know what I'm saying? Actually doing shit with their powers. This one, their powers get upgraded when they get their powers back, but they don't last long. It, it was just bad. And for it to be so short and it be the last season ever, it seemed like, okay, we made the show during the writer's strike and we didn't get a bunch of episodes out. We just kind of gave up on it, and this is what we got. Because the ending 6 episodes is ridiculous. It wasn't a good send off at all. The ending was kind of stupid. They all die. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry. If you liked it, let me know. But again, I'm not gonna waste your time too much because it is a superhero show and it does fit under the umbrella of the Best of Bias podcast, no pun intended. So I just wanted to give you guys a little something. It's on Netflix now. Go watch that. And House of Dragons season 2 finale, man. I know this was a while ago. I know it left a bitter taste in your mouth too, but I just have to let you guys know I'm upset with y'all, man. The ending was terrible. All this build up for this epic battle. The dragon fights, okay, they were cool. The dragon fights we were waiting for the first from the first season through whole Game of Thrones. For us to see dragon fights and the fallout from the dragon fights, just the damage dragons can do to people. When people were trying to claim dragons and the dragon was like, "Nah, we're gonna eat or burn you." That shit was really dope throughout the series, but the buildup of Rhaenyra going to confront the actually just from that first episode when they went ahead and just killed the little kid in their bed and just graphically heard all the shit happening to them slowly just hinting at war to this tempers boiling over for us not to get when Damon went off to that castle and just started seeing shit and just started going crazy, and I saw the story didn't progress from there. I kind of felt like we are in for it. Like at least I thought Damon was gonna double cross Rhaenyra and we're gonna see some crazy shit go on that aspect. But no, it was just a whole self-realization period, and he's just gonna bow down to Rhaenyra anyways, and just the son, Rhaenyra's son, is just already thinking about if she dies, who's gonna succeed her as queen or king, him or Damon. Like it's just a whole bunch of a dialogue inner. I get it. That's what probably went on back in those times. You were worried about succession. You were worried about who was going to rule. You were worried about being killed by somebody who wanted the throne, just because of the power that the throne gave you. But it's just weird. It's just really weird. It all stemmed from season 1 when Rhaenyra's son died, and Aemon was responsible for it. This season we just had Aemon versus excuse me, I forgot the aunt's name who ended up getting killed by Vhagar and Aemon. We saw that dragon battle, but we expected to at least throughout an 8-season episode or 8-episode season see this grand battle that all of us were leading up to. We saw the people claim dragons. We saw Rhaenyra squad up with a whole bunch of dragons to finally be able to fight that big ass dragon Aemon. We see the aftermath of Aegon getting burned. We see him recovering. He said his cock exploded. Excuse me, everybody listening out there, to the younger people. When he was trying to urinate, his cock exploded. Whoa. Shit was going down, bro. And now we gotta wait 2 years for them to actually battle. Last episode just kind of like, okay, it's war then. Like, come on, bro. First of all, I don't understand how Alicent and Rhaenyra can just keep sneaking into each other's houses or castles without nobody knowing and just get in there. Okay. And it always seems like they got a bodyguard with them too. Like they got a bodyguard wearing the same suits that follow the queens around, yet they can just sneak into each other's cities with the bodyguard and nobody, like, what the fuck? What are the rules of war? Like, come on now. What's going on? Like, but it was interesting, getting the character development throughout. That's something they do a really good job of throughout Game of Thrones and House of Dragons. Though they're doing a little bit worse of a job of getting us to care about the characters in House of Dragons as much as they did in Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? And in Game of Thrones, what they did was get you to like the characters and kind of kill them off in a dramatic way. We're not getting that much action in House of Dragons. Yeah, there is shock, kill, shock and awe in some situations, but the main characters, besides Aegon getting burnt, nothing really happens to them. We kind of feel like they will just because of the whole reputation in Game of Thrones. We thought that somebody's gonna get murked, somebody that we beloved, is something's gonna happen to them to progress the story in a dramatic way, but nothing really happens, man. And I even get more confused when Daemon at the end of this finale touches a tree and gives a viewing of all the shit that happens in Game of Thrones. Seeing Khaleesi, seeing the dragon, seeing how he dies, seeing the Ice King. Like I thought that was gonna push us into an area where it's like, okay, now we're gonna see some shit. Maybe they gonna talk about some shit. Is he clairvoyant now? No, we just fucking get to see them fucking bow down to Rhaenyra and them declare that they're gonna go to war finally. And we see that chase scene where Aemond and Vhagar are chasing I don't know the dude's name, the new guy that found his dragon just kind of flying around King's Landing on his dragon almost got pulled up on by Aemond. It's just a lot of shit that this I wish they showed more of, because now we're just going to be waiting for 2 years for this again, and we're going to be disappointed and just hoping to see some raw shit. But we already have the memory of you guys shitting on us twice with the Game of Thrones finale and the House of Dragon season 2 finale, that we can't get our hopes too high, because if we're let down, because there's already going to be five, I think 4 seasons were fully approved for House of Dragons. We're only on season 2, but we got 2 more seasons. If next season we are let down like this season, it's going to be kind of crazy. But I get it. The purists and the book people already know what's going on and love how it's being set up and know they got to be patient type shit. But come on now. We need to see something, because again, this was already rated the second worst final, I think, in HBO Max history, next to the Game of Thrones finale. So you're gonna have to work a little better to get that up. You know what I'm saying? Game of Thrones, the fans out there, they're trying to hold strong. You know what I'm saying? But that fan base is down bad after the finale and how this season ended. They shitting on you. The pop culture fans are starting to look at y'all like, is y'all show really that even good? And I'm part of the fandom, but I know there's some diehards out there that swear behind the show that if anybody else talked about Lord of the Rings or anything like that, they fight you tooth and nail. So this isn't good for yo. This is a chink in your armor. You know what I'm saying? For those diehards like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool. I feel like you guys should check it out yourselves if you haven't already. You probably watched all kind of reviews. You probably don't want to be reminded about it. You probably still have that sour taste in your mouth. But hey, you know what I'm saying? They're doing what they can. New shows or new movies out right now. I think they dropped Bike Riders on Peacock. If you didn't get to see it in theaters, go watch it there for free. The Instigators, Matt Damon, if I'm not mistaken, Matt Affleck is Ben Affleck's little brother. He's in that. Jack Harlow's in it. Pretty good movie, pretty funny. Go check that out. Go watch some anime too. If you don't watch anime now, give it a chance. I gotta go catch up on them. My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen. Was it Jujutsu Kaisen? No, it was Demon Slayer. I don't know if Jujutsu Kaisen came out with any new episodes, but I need to catch up on some stuff. Finish my One Piece. Go watch one and let me know how y'all feeling, man. Comic-Con coming up October 4th through 6th. We're gonna be in the building. TwitchCon, we're gonna be in the building also September 20th through 23rd. So if you guys are on Twitch, I'm trying to network with y'all. I'm trying to get my Twitch started. Just kind of get some hints and some rumors, some advice on how to get my Twitch up and running and get to its optimal state, just so I can be one of y'all favorite streamers, podcasters, and just kind of media all together. New content, everything. Oh, actually, I didn't get there yet. But yeah, that's all I got for now. I mean, it's in the podcast where I like to let them know where you can find me at. It's Patrick_Lydell. Or SAC underscore Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick underscore Lydell on the Snapchat. Check us out. Plenty content to come. Plenty more content to come, plenty more guests to come, the usual guests to come as well. We got the challenge starting this week, season 40 with all the vets in it. So we're gonna be talking about that. Probably get a review of the first episode. Probably try to get Ashwash or Amber and Yancey on. Definitely try to get V-Rons on. One of them is gonna talk to me about the challenge. You know what I'm saying? We'll be watching it with V-Ron. So might have a little reaction for after the pod too. So, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. Stay logged into the Instagram, Best of Bias Instagram, mostly for everything updated topics that we'll be talking about on the pod all the time. Anywhere find your favorite podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, which is also Spotify already. I know I always do that. I think Google Play doesn't exist anymore. But of course, you can find us on YouTube. Thank you, AKA, for putting all these videos together, putting our promos together. Thank you for all the guests that's ever been on the podcast. You guys know who you are. Thank you for all the listeners who just clicked for the first time, new family members, new Best of Bias members, members that have been here forever since 2019, holding it down. Thank y'all for everything. Get you some merch. Still hit me up. I still got all the merch available. Hats, no more t-shirts, but I have hats, bucket hats, beanies, dad hats, all kind of shit still. Again, hit me if you want to be on the pod. Plenty of content, plenty of camera roll. Hit me up, you know what I'm saying? We're here all the time, ready to ready to talk anything you want to talk about. So let's get it. Don't be scared. Fantasy football starting real soon. Should I live stream the draft? Let me know. I try to do it every year. We never really could do it, but I have unlimited for the stream this year for the Zoom, so we can probably get some shit popping. Get somebody to record it. Who knows? But that'll come soon. Vacation coming soon. Sorry, this one is not as much pop culture for y'all as in the middle there. We had some Cinema Corner, had some sports and shit, but it's the Best of Bias podcast. Hey, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Good weekend. I love y'all. Sorry about the delays, but season 3 coming real soon. Making that announcement. Next episode 217 will be season 3. So we'll get that announcement popping. We'll have some brand new, fresh content for y'all for them. Deal? You know what I'm saying? It's the best of Bias. It's the Best of Bias podcast. And until next time, it's your boy, Lydell Dinero. Let's get it. Let me hear that theme song. Where it's at, it's right here. Yeah. All right, then, y'all. Peace. It's the best of Bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of Bias. Best of Bias. Yeah. It's the Best of Bias.